Hi everybody, you'll never guess what happened. I went to Goodwill and I bought this ugly tray. And guess what? $2.99. Actually, it might be $3.99. I think it was $2.99. I picked it up, expecting it to be like tray weight. It was so heavy. This thing weighs 45 pounds. Did not know why, and then I'm like, oh wait, these are tiles in here. Ugly tiles. This looks like something that was straight out of Kirkland's in 1998. I probably had something like this straight out of Kirkland's in 1998. And because it was from Goodwill, it was dirty. Used my Sprayway cleaner to get that nice and pretty and clean. Now I'm gonna do what I do best and just paint this thing. Painted the whole thing with Waverly chalk paint. I would have spray painted it, but the last couple times I spray painted stuff, it has just come out terrible. So, a couple of coats, I think probably 3 maybe. Now I'm going through a bunch of paper pads from when I used to make cards. These are all from Basic Gray. They're 6x6. The tiles measure 5 3/4. Not sure why. That seems like a very strange measurement to be, but whatever. And I'm going through these because all these pads coordinate. You know, the stuff inside them all coordinate, but I need 6 pieces that are different values. Like some are light, some are medium, some are dark. I don't find that in any of them. This was my favorite pad. It's called Nook and Pantry from Basic Gray. If anybody has this and wants to send it to me as like a little tip, I would love that because I love these papers. But I felt like this was... It looked like a lot of brown. Like I couldn't have a good variety of light and dark. It was like 3 lights and 3 darks pretty much. So this is the pad I'm going with. I think it's called Ava. These are so old, I don't think you're going to be able to get them anywhere even if you wanted to. Maybe eBay. It's called Ava or something like that. Lots of pinks, lots of greens, a little bit of purple. And I'm just trying to pick out 6 different papers. I thought about the stripe, but then I was like, no, I don't like that stripe. And that one was... They always have like 2 papers in here that I hate, you know? So I took this one, even though it's dark. I would have preferred something more medium because that top left one and the dark one, they're kind of dark, but whatever. You work with what you got. So I kind of did like a basic arrangement of how I might want them. Now I'm going to move the tray away and get out my Fiskars paper trimmer, which is... This thing is old. Still working out. I need a new blade. I actually bought a blade and I lost it, but it's not like the story of my life every day. And all I'm doing is trimming these down to 5 3/4. Adjusting my camera, I usually edit that out because I have to adjust it constantly. If y'all saw how this camera was rigged up, you'd be like, what is he doing with his life that this is how his camera is? But you know what? It works. So I'm just going to trim all these down and get ready to do the worst decoupage job I have ever done in my life. I don't know what happened. I think it was because I never used gloss, and I used gloss, which was a waste of time because I ended up going back and spraying it all matte. But, you know, and I'm thinking like how I want this to be and separating the colors that are too similar, separating the values that are too similar, and I'm going at it with some gloss Mod Podge. I don't even know why I have this. It is so rare for me to use gloss Mod Podge, especially as a Mod Podge medium. Like, I'll use it on top of something, but matte just seems to always work better. You know, you don't see all the brush strokes as much. Yeah, so this was... I mean, it came out fine in the end. It's just, I can't handle when there's, like, wrinkles, and... There were wrinkles. There were a lot of wrinkles. They went away when it dried, which took forever because it has been raining like crazy the past couple days here. Terrible weather, cold, rainy, which I usually like, but not when I'm trying to get something to dry. I think I ended up putting this in my bathroom with the space heater my sister got me for Christmas. And I always like to put down a thinnish layer of Mod Podge and then put the paper on top of it and then come back afterwards once everything is done and seal the whole thing. That just works better for me. I end up dumping a bunch on top so I can smooth that with my fingers. That's how I've always done it. Maybe I need to try some different ways because this This did not come out how I wanted it to. It got there eventually, but, you know. So yeah, I went to my local Goodwill and found this thing for a decent price, which I'm still just like I feel like I stole it or something because it was only $2 or $3 or $3 or $4 or whatever it was. I also got something else I'm going to do next week, and then I went to another Goodwill outside of where I live because I was shopping with my friend who was in town. It was like a completely different world. It was like, you know, you've been shopping at a terrible place all your life, and then all of a sudden there's like a wonderful new place where there's a bunch of variety and everything's kind of organized and everything is affordable. Like everything is priced appropriately for a thrift store. It was crazy. I think I got 2 or 3 things there too, because I want to start doing more thrift store makeovers in the new year. So yeah, all I'm doing right here is pushing out any bubbles, any wrinkles. Couldn't get all of them out, but I think I did the best I could do. I like to get in there with my hands. I just feel like when you're brushing something on, you can't actually have your fingers on it, you know, and you miss some stuff. So I like to just really go in there and get it all down. So you push out all the extra, and I do go back afterwards and just kind of smooth everything out. Get all the fingerprints out. Still working on the bubbles. And if you have some wrinkles or bubbles or whatever, as the Mod Podge dries, it does kind of constrict some, so it will pull some of those wrinkles and bubbles out, but I wouldn't count on that. I just try to get it flat the first time, which I didn't do, so don't you worry about it too much. Now I have the whole thing dry. You can see it's glossy, and you can see even from this height, and even with my terrible camera, you can see that there are brush strokes in there, and you can see some of the bubbling. But I just wanted to go through with a little sanding sponge and knock some of the white paint off. I didn't care for the color of the wood underneath. If I had, I would have probably done a little bit more. And I did go over the surface some just to knock down a little bit of the texture that was on top of there. This ended up making a huge mess because those sanding sponges are not meant for, I don't even know, why did I even buy this stuff? Like, I get this stuff from Dollar Tree and I'm like, oh, it'll work fine, but no, I mean, you can see it's leaving little black specks all over everything. But I was just doing a little light sanding just to break up the white. And I think, like, ideally, I'd like to, if I did something like this, I'd like to do it and, like, get a piece of glass to go in there, but you know what? I didn't have any on hand that fit. I wasn't going to go try to get the piece that I did have cut, so whatever. Now I'm going back with my white chalk paint, the same paint I used to paint the tray, and I'm going to distress this kind of like whitewash thing. This paint is watered down. The Waverly chalk paint is usually pretty thick, I feel, especially if it's like not a brand new bottle. So this was watered down some. I wouldn't suggest doing this with chalk paint that's not diluted a little bit because it's really thick. So I just wanted like a light wash to make it a little distressed, a little whitewashed, kind of tie all these colors together some more, because the lower left one and that one in the middle and the one on the lower right, they were kind of in my face a little bit. So I'm just going around where the seams are and putting the heavier color, and then I'm going to come back with a paper towel. I think, yeah, this is a wet paper towel right now because I just want to remove some of that and then spread a thin layer over most of the paper here. And you're like, oh no, he just ruined it, but it's fine. This whole table is shaking. I hope no one is seasick. I really think, like, if I wanted to do this again, I would probably invest in that, what is it, the white wax that Waverly makes. I just never see a point in buying something like that when it's basically just, you know, thin down paint. yeah, I'm going back and just adding some lighter sections so it doesn't look so uniform. Yeah, and if you took out drying time, this was like really a quick little project. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably give it to my mom, give it to my sister for her birthday, give it, I don't know, somebody, but not my style, you know. I'm not big on patterns in my house. But it did come out cute, like for a little tea set. I mean, if it didn't weigh like 35 pounds, I could give it to like a kid for a tea set kind of thing, but no, this is definitely like a weapon that you could use. If you got like a floral bedroom or something, you know, on a bench at the end of the bed where you pretend to drink your coffee. I don't know what you people do, but you know, do it because that's your life and you like to live your life. So wiping it all off, at this point all the paint has dried because I've used such a small amount, and I've wiped off where I didn't use a small amount. And if this is too heavy for you, you don't have to go this heavy. You could use a dark wax or a darker paint if you wanted to. It's up to you. But where I sanded, you can see the color kind of caught a little bit more, which is what I was going for. I just wanted something kind of shabby chic. I don't know, something like that. So there it is. The colors are more true in this picture because my exposure was kind of bright on my camera when I was filming, but this is kind of what it looks like. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, follow me on Instagram. Do whatever you want. Live your life. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday, I think. Bye, guys.